Hello, everybody. I suddenly found myself in Seattle, Washington with an 8-hour layover. In this video, I'll show you exactly what you can do if you end up in Seattle just like me. We had just come back from a trip in Alaska and our flight had an 8-hour layover in Seattle. Instead of twiddling our thumbs at the airport, we decided to go explore the city. The main places we wanted to see was Pike Place Fish Market, known for throwing fish around, check out the first Starbucks ever built, and the pier. In order to get to the downtown area, you have to get on the Link Light Rail at the SeaTac/airport. There are signs to help you get there, but the place is so huge we had to ask for directions a couple of times. There's a public transportation system there called the Orca, which is pretty handy getting around the city. We headed to the downtown Seattle area and got off at the International District area. There were lots of murals everywhere, which was really nice. There were street performers as soon as we entered downtown, and that ended up being a really common occurrence. As soon as we step inside the market, we were met with a ton of people doing their own shopping, and as you would expect, stalls selling their fish and seafood items. I was instantly a bit overwhelmed from the narrow hallways, noise, and the amount of people, but pushed on through, as I really wanted to explore the area. There were other shops selling various items that were not ocean related, like meats, jams, flowers, fruits, clothing, skincare, jewelry, and many other things. There was so much to look at that I was all over the place trying to film it all. I'm pretty new to vlogging and filming in public, so forgive me if the shots are a bit lacking or rushed. I'm a pretty shy person, so it feels very awkward to film in public spaces for me. After looking at the upper floor, we headed on down to the lower floors. One of the first shops we saw on the lower floor was a place called Marnin Sailor. The shop's aesthetic was absolutely adorable. Besides my normal goth and dark aesthetics, I do actually love cute things and the color pink, so I felt right at home in this shop. They had a lot of art keychains, some really cute food-themed animal plushies, and t-shirts. There were these little mystery bags, and I ended up buying one. It came with 2 keychains, a art postcard, and a iron-on patch. They also had cute photo shoot section that was a fuzzy pink sprinkle theme. I was very tempted to take some photos there, but got distracted by the cute enamel pins up near the register. There were also some stickers laid out on one of the displays that were all very cute. The next store we found was this magic shop that was pretty cool. There was a lot of magic themed posters everywhere, gag toy items, magic trick sets, and books. We didn't get anything from the store, but the vibe felt very 1920 magic aesthetic with the posters, like the era Harry Houdini is from. Right next to the magic store was a cute sweets store as well as a kebab store. Initially, I wanted to go into the sweets store, but quickly got distracted by the food in the kebab shop. We got a BBQ pork stick from there that was pretty good and hit the spot. The market kinda loops around, so we found ourselves going back to the upper floor. We exited the market and found ourselves at Beecher's Handmade Cheese for some macaroni. The macaroni was flavorful and tasty, but it did have a bit of a texture to it that I don't know how to describe. Like a texture of cheese was not smooth, but it was creamy. As we wandered around outside near Pike Place Market, we saw some signs for the first ever Starbucks and decided to have a peek since it was one of the things on our to-do list. There were a ton of people just hanging out in this area and a huge line right outside of Starbucks. We didn't realize there was a line to get in at first because it was disconnected from the entrance, so we ended up accidentally skipping the line and didn't see it until after we walked out of the shop. However, we just wanted to peek inside. We weren't really there to buy anything, so no harm done, I think. The inside wasn't very spectacular. Looked like any other Starbucks you would find in America, honestly. They were giving out free samples of oat milk matcha latte with lavender foam. I grabbed one and I gotta say it was pretty good. I'm not much of an oat milk girly, and I was skeptical of the lavender going well with the matcha, but this combo was a winner for me. We did do some wandering around after I drank my matcha sample and started exploring the Stewart House area. There was some interesting shops, but what caught our eye was the Pierogi bakery there. I forgot to film which dessert we got from here because I was so excited to eat it. But I think it was the cherry white chocolate pastry or the guava pastry. I do remember it being exceptionally good though. Right after gobbling down our dessert, we headed to the post alley to do some more exploring. We were looking at the shops when we noticed a sign from the Alabaster Owl, which was giving Harry Potter vibes. They had a luggage cart right outside the shop, which really gave the feeling that we were about to enter the Wizarding World. Now, I will say the reason the video quality sucks here is because I ended up getting performance anxiety and felt very awkward filming in the store due to the fact the owners were right there next to us, since the store is the size of a walk-in closet. With that said, the owners were very nice and they had a ton of cute enamel pens everywhere. They had them on the door, pinned to playing cards, on shelves, and on a Harry Potter school cloak. They also had a lot of trinkets, clothes, earrings, and other little doodads. I ended up getting some stickers and enamel pins from here. Right outside the post alley, there are more shops and produce stalls all near the Pike Place Market. We saw the street performers dressed as cats playing the fiddle and accordion right in front of the market. And then found this guy. There was a ton of street performers everywhere near this area, and all of them have been really talented. There was not a shortage of talented musicians in Seattle. We decided to head down to the pier, which was not too far of a walk from Pike Place Market. We passed by the aquarium, which we considered briefly going to, but it seemed to be undergoing some sort of construction, so we decided to skip it. There was a bit of construction going on by the pier as well, but the main attractions were all open. We decided we wanted to go on the Ferris wheel as well as try out the Wings Over Washington, which is an aerial ride that utilizes a huge round screen and chairs that lift you up and jiggle you around a bit. We decided to do Wings Over Washington first, and right outside there was a recycled chewed gum container that threw me off since I'd never seen anything like that. I had no idea that was even a thing. Now back to the ride. When you go inside, you have to walk up some stairs to get to the ride entrance, and they have some lit up posters and a log theme waiting room, as well as some native decor and informational nuggets around the room. I was granted permission to film, so here are the highlights. There is an announcement explaining the ride, and then they let you into the ride room. Once inside, you are instructed to pick a seat, put your items, and pull down the bars to keep you in place. Once the ride begins, the seat lifts up and the movie starts. I quite enjoyed the ride. It was reminiscent of Disney's Epcot Soarin' Around the World ride at Walt Disney World. We then immediately hopped onto the Ferris wheel for a relaxing ride with the view. We got some good views of the city's pier and skyline, as well as boats crossing the water. I was hoping to see some sea life like orcas, but alas, none were spotted. We went around more times than I expected we would. I think we went around 3 or 4 times before the ride ended.
Oh, we going again. We going again.
After we finished up at the pier, we headed down to the international area for some dinner at the Dough Zone. Inside wasn't too busy, and I realized as we were waiting for our food that the background music playing was Pokemon music from Ruby and Sapphire's Old Dale Town, which was a nice touch since Gen 3 is my favorite generation. We got some pork buns and soup dumplings with a chili dipping sauce. Everything was super tasty. I would recommend the Dough Zone. Our last destination was the airport. Our layover was almost over and we had a few hours left, so we hopped on the train and headed back. The Seattle airport is pretty large and has a room for people who are overstimulated, which I definitely was. The room had a mural, dim lighting of a galaxy on the ceiling, and a lot of cushions to sit and lay down on. The room is pretty small, so it can only really accommodate a few people at a time. After I was no longer overstimulated, we went and got some ice cream from Lena's handcrafted ice cream shop. I got the flavor Lilikoi, which was really good. Lilikoi is a type of passion fruit, and I recommend trying it if you get the chance. We were apparently craving a lot of sugar because right after, we got Cinnabon, which is always pretty tasty. We shoved our faces full and then walked to our gate, which I found a funny little parking sign outside for Tommy's parking only. We got on our plane and that was the end of our trip. Our time in Seattle was very enjoyable. I loved the gloomy weather, the amazing transportation, all the niche and unique shops we got to see, as well as the rides. The food was also pretty solid and had a variety of special food shops you can choose from. If you are ever in Seattle, Washington, I highly recommend the Pike Place Market and the surrounding area to explore. I have to say, my favorite thing about this place was all the unique shops and all the talented street performers. Getting to listen to live, unique music at every corner felt pretty special as someone who loves the arts. Thank you for listening and watching about my trip to Seattle. I'd really love to hear about one of your trips, so tell me about yours in the comment section below. Well, that's it for now. See everybody next time. Bye-bye.